Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Darian and today we're going to be talking about some queer books that are on my TBR. So as you probably know, Pride Month is fast approaching. The month of June is Pride Month, and I wanted to talk a bit about some of the queer books that are on my TBR that for whatever reason I haven't read yet, and I was thinking of maybe picking up this Pride Month and hopefully to give you guys some recs. So no, I haven't read these books yet, but maybe you can let me know which of these I should prioritize for Pride Month, or I'll just give you guys some ideas of some queer books you could read during Pride Month. Also, today's video is very exciting, not only because we're talking about queer books, but this is the first video I'm filming with my new camera. I know, if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen in my stories, I decided to get a new camera. The other camera I had, it was still working, but I've had a lot of issues with it. First of all, I kind of always hated how big it is. I know it's like kind of a fancier camera, but it's very old. It is over 10 years old, and it was starting to show. That camera also doesn't have autofocus, which was a huge bother for me. It always turned off after filming for like a minute or two, which was super annoying, especially if I was filming clips where I wasn't directly staring at the camera. So if I was reading like a quote from a book or the synopsis, or if I was filming myself reading for a vlog or something like that, I wouldn't see that the camera turned off, and then I wouldn't remember what I was talking about. So it was just really annoying, and I thought it was time to just get a new camera. So this is the first video we're filming. Hopefully, I'm still like figuring this whole thing out. It's hard for me not to stare at the viewfinder. I don't know what it is about this camera that I just want to stare at myself, but I will get used to that. So yes, if the quality is different, I'm just figuring this one out. I'm sure I'll figure it out as I go, but this is the first thing I'm filming, and I'm very excited because this camera has autofocus. And I'm so excited about that. Everyone say hi to the new camera, and without further ado, let's get to the queer books that are on my TBR. So the first book, I'm honestly I can't believe I haven't read this book yet, but this is the first book in a duology, and the sequel comes out in, I think it's this fall. So I'm hoping to maybe get to this one in Pride Month, but if not, I might wait till the last book in the duology comes out and then binge them. But obviously I'm talking about this This Ravenous Fate by Haley Dennings. If you don't know, Haley Dennings used to make booktube videos and also like writing videos, and this is her first book she published in 2024, and I'm just like, I was so excited to follow her journey and see her announce she was getting published and all of that. I just love her so much. I think she's so funny, first of all, and I love that she got a book published. And actually one of the first books that I bought for my library as a librarian was this book. So I don't know, my expectations for this book are very high, but like even if for some reason the plot doesn't work or the writing doesn't work or something, like I will always just be so proud of Haley for getting her book published, and I can't wait to read this and then see the sequel come out this year. So this book follows these two, I think one of them is a reaper and one is a vampire, unless they call vampires reapers, which might be the case. So I'll read a bit of the synopsis. It says, at night in Harlem, the jazz clubs come to life and death waits in the dark. It's 1926 and reapers are growing stronger everywhere. Created centuries ago by cruel medical experiments, these once human vampires, okay, the reapers are vampires, are driven to attack without mercy. Those who protect the city from them hold more power than even the organized criminals who run the nightclubs. As the reluctant heir to her father's reaper hunting empire, Elise Saint knows that the Harlem Reapers want her dead. Among them is Layla Quinn, who lost her parents, the protection of the saints, and her humanity the night she was turned into a reaper. And she'll never forget how Elise Saint betrayed her. A wave of mysterious killings shocks the city, forcing Elise and Layla to work together to find out if some reapers are turning human again, or becoming even deadlier. As their investigation takes them from glittering parties to gangster underworld, the two must confront their complicated feelings for each other. For a new kind of evil is on the rise, one that will destroy reapers and humans alike if they don't stop it. So first of all, do you know how nice it was to read that synopsis and not look up every 2 seconds to see if my camera was recording? It was very nice. Wow, I am so happy right now. So yes, I believe this is classified as like friends to lovers. No, friends to enemies to lovers. I believe that's what it is. And I believe that they're like actual enemies and not just like, I don't like her because she was mean to me once, but also she's so pretty. Like, I think they're genuinely enemies to lovers. And obviously this is sapphic, and yeah, I feel like I haven't read a vampire book in a very long time. And honestly, after seeing Sinners recently, I kind of am in the mood for vampires, so I'm excited to get to this one. Hopefully I can get to it in June. Next we have a book that honestly is one of the books that has been on my TBR for the longest. I believe I bought this very soon after it came out, which I think was in it was either 2020, yeah, 2021 it came out. And I think I bought it soon after it came out. And I know the sequel was finally released recently. It was delayed for a long time. And I believe this is also a duology. But anyways, that is Iron Widow by Shirin J. Zhao. And I've just heard such amazing things about this duology, or this series. I think it's a duology. So this I've heard compared to Pacific Rim, which, you know, is a fine movie, but I love the idea of it. So it says, in Huaxia, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, the highest honor for a young girl is to be selected as a concubine pilot. Supporters paired up with male pilots to power up chrysalises, the giant transforming mechas that humanity relies on to battle the massive aliens that lurk beyond the Great Wall. But the honor often ends in death, and when 18-year-old Zixian's sister is killed by an ace male pilot, Zetian or Zetian, I'm so sorry. Please let me know if you know how to pronounce these names. Signs up to adventure. The vengeance is swift, brutal, and unexpected, leaving Zetian labeled as an Iron Widow, a much feared kind of female pilot who can sacrifice boys to power up chrysalises. Wow. I can't pronounce anything, instead of the other way around. To tame her unnerving yet invaluable mental strength, she's paired up with Li Shimin, the strongest and most controversial male pilot in Huaxia. But now that Zixian has had a taste of power, she will not cower so easily. She will miss no opportunity to leverage her and Shimin's combined might and infamy, and survive attempt after attempt on her life, until she can figure out exactly why the pilot system relies so heavily on destroying girls' lives and dismantle it for good. So yes, it sounds very cool. This is a like YA fantasy. I think I would also consider it sci-fi, and I believe I've heard that there is a polyamorous relationship in here, and the author is also non-binary. So I am just very excited for all the queer rep in this book, and I really just want to support this author because I know they've been through a lot, especially with their second book getting delayed for so long. So I'm very excited to finally pick this one up. Okay, next we're straying away from fantasy. This is very different, but next we have Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo, and I haven't read a book by this author yet, but I've heard like pretty much only amazing things about this book. This book also won the Booker Prize in 2019, so you would think it is very good, and I am just behind. So it says, Girl, Woman, Other is a magnificent portrayal of the intersections of identity and a moving and hopeful story of a group of Black British women. Girl, Woman, Other is populated with unforgettable characters, from a lesbian playwright to a jaded schoolteacher to a non-binary social media influencer. Sparklingly witty, centering voices we often see othered, and written in an innovative, fast-moving form, this is a polyphonic social novel by a masterful writer who has finally been lauded at the level she has long deserved. I mean, if that doesn't make you want to read it, I don't know what will. So from what I remember, I believe this book is like separated by the three characters' stories. Okay, yeah, so you have like, oh my god, let's try out the autofocus. So is it focusing? I think it is. Oh my god, wow. So as you can see, it is separated by the three stories. Interesting. Okay, wait, what? Okay, so actually I didn't look at the names of the chapters, but it looks like it's all different people. So do all of the characters intersect? I don't even know. But anyways, I guess we'll find out. So yeah, I've only heard amazing things about this book, and again, hopefully I could pick it up soon. Yeah, I've just had this for a while and I'm really excited to read it. Oh my god, I forgot how heavy this book was. But the next book is another book I've had on my TBR for quite a while, and that is A Snake Falls to Earth by Darcy Little Badger. I actually don't remember too much about this story. I assume the characters are queer because I know Darcy Little Badger is queer. I read their book A Lot's Away. When did I read that? I think it was 2021, and I really enjoyed it, and that book had ace rep. I don't know if this has ace rep, but I would love it if it did. Nina is a Lipan girl in our world. She's always felt there was something more out there. She still believes in the old stories. Ollie is a cottonmouth kid from the land of spirits and monsters. Like all cottonmouths, he's been cast from home. He's found a new one on the banks of the bottomless lake. Nina and Ollie have no idea the other exists, but a catastrophic event on Earth and a strange sickness that befalls Ollie's best friend will drive their worlds together in ways they haven't been in centuries, and some will kill to keep them apart. And then it says, Darcy Little Badger introduced herself to the world with a lasso. In A Snake Falls to Earth, she draws on traditional Lipan Apache storytelling structure to weave another unforgettable tale of monsters, magic, and family. It is not to be missed. Okay, so that doesn't really tell me too much about the plot, but obviously we know this is queer. So yeah, I feel like I've heard a lot of people have read A Lasso and obviously really enjoyed it. I feel like not many people have picked this one up, at least not that I've seen. So if you have picked this up, let me know what you thought about it, because I don't know if I know anyone who has read this and gave a review for it, unless I'm just forgetting because it came out a few years ago. But very excited to get this one as well. Next we have a book with an excellent flop and that is The Spirit Cuts Through Water by Simon Jimenez. I've definitely heard quite a few booktubers talk about this book. I know Reagan really loves it, but it's especially Sid who like really made me want to read this. She just made this book sound like so unique and interesting. So I believe this is like I think this is more sci-fi than fantasy, but let's see. It says, two warriors shepherd an ancient god across a broken land to end the tyrannical reign of a royal family in the standalone epic oh, it is fantasy, from the author of The Vanished Birds. So why did I think it was more sci-fi? I don't know. The people suffer under the centuries-long rule of the Moon Throne, the royal family, the despotic emperor, and his monstrous sons, the Three Terrors, hold the countryside in their choking grip. They bleed the land and oppress the citizens with the frightful powers they inherited from the god locked under the palace. But that god cannot be contained forever. With the aid of June, a guard broken by his guilt-stricken past, and Kima, an outcast fighting for his future, the god escapes from her royal captivity and flees from her own children, the triplet terrors who would drag her back to her unholy prison. And so it is that she embarks with her young companions on a 5-day pilgrimage in search of freedom, and a way to end the Moon Throne forever. Their journey ahead will be more dangerous than any of them could ever have imagined. Both a sweeping adventure story and an intimate exploration of identity, legacy, and belonging, The Spirit Cuts Through Water is an ambitious and profound saga that will transport and transform you, and is like none you've ever read before. So like, do I know what this book is about? Based on that synopsis, no. And I've heard a lot of people say like this book is kind of written in a way that's like you don't really know what's going on until eventually you do, you know? I mean, this cover is just beautiful, and I've been wanting to read from Simon Jimenez for a while. He also wrote The Vanished Birds, which I've heard a lot of really good things about. So this is like a bit of a bigger book, but look how floppy it is. It's just so good. Such a good flop. So yes. Again, very excited to get to this one. Okay, we have 2 more books to talk about, and this one, I honestly, well, I'm like this for all of these books, but this one especially, I can't believe I haven't read yet, but it is I Am Ace by Cody Daigle Oriens, and it is a nonfiction book from Cody, who you might know as Ace Dad Advice on the interwebs. So I think this is a very like basic, almost introductory book to asexuality and like some questions people might have about asexuality. So am I gonna learn a lot from this book? I don't know, because if you don't know, I am Ace, and I feel like I know a decent amount about asexuality, probably more than the average person, but I feel like there's always more I can learn, and I really love watching Cody's stuff on YouTube and stuff. I really like Cody and following them, so I'm very excited to support them and read their book finally. Yeah, it says, whether you're ace, demi, gray ace, or not sure yet, this book will give you the courage and confidence to embrace your unique self. So like, why wouldn't I want to read that, you know? So the different chapters in this book, I like this because there's one chapter called What is Asexuality? Understanding Orientation, and then there's another chapter called What is Asexuality? Understanding Attraction. Because not everyone knows that there's a difference. Yeah, I don't know. I always enjoy reading books about asexuality. I read Ace by Angela Chen. When was that? 3-4 years ago, and really loved that book as well. So I love to read nonfiction books about asexuality, and I would love to promote this book more because I feel like ace rep is really lacking, and yeah, I feel like we need more of it. So I am excited to support a ace author, and yeah. Okay, the last book we have is Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. I have read, I think, have I only read one other book? I think I've only read one other book by Ashley Herring Blake, which was Mighty Heart of Sunny St. James, which is a middle grade. This is adult romance. So it's very different, but I did love her writing in that book. And so I definitely want to read more from her. I don't think I've read anything else. Is there a list of her books? No. Okay. I don't think I've read anything else, but I've heard a lot of good things about this series. So this is the first one in like a contemporary romance series where each book follows a different couple. So this one is obviously about Delilah Green. And it says, Delilah Green swore she would never go back to Bright Falls. Nothing is there for her but memories of a lonely childhood. Her life now is in New York with her photography career finally gaining steam and her bed never empty. Sure, it's a different woman every night, but that's just fine with her. When Delilah's estranged stepsister pressures her into photographing her wedding, Delilah finds herself back in Bright Falls once more. She plans to breeze in and out, but then she sees Claire Sutherland, her stepsister's stuck-up bestie, and decides that maybe there's some fun and a little retribution to be had after all. As a busy single mother, Claire depends upon a life without surprises, and Delilah Green is an unwelcome surprise at first. But when they're forced together during the many wedding preparations, Claire isn't sure she has the strength to resist Delilah's charms. Even worse, she's starting to think she doesn't want to. So I think this is just gonna be like a cute little time. Obviously it's sapphic, and I do really love books that like involve a wedding, and obviously it's not like the main character's wedding, but the setting like is like leading up to a wedding, you know what I mean? I really like books like that, so very excited to get to this one. And I love this cover. Like this purple is like my favorite color. It's just so nice. I'll do that. Okay, so these are some of the queer books that are on my TBR, and oh my god. Would you look at that? They make the rainbow. Obviously this Ravenous Fate could be a little bit more red, but the cover's pretty red, and I Am Ace is not quite indigo, and A Snake Falls to Earth isn't quite green, but like, you're telling me this isn't the rainbow? Oh my gosh. So yes, I did choose these books solely based on being able to make the rainbow with the spines. I'm so silly. But yes, so those are just some of the queer books that are on my TBR that I would love to get to in Pride Month. I know I won't get to all of these, but let me know which of these books you would recommend the most, or let me know your favorite queer books, or what are you planning to read in Pride Month. Just let's talk all about queer books in the comments. That would be great. And if you watch till the end, I mean, I feel like a rainbow is too obvious, but leave a rainbow because we need more joy. We need more queer joy. So leave a rainbow in the comments below if you watch till the end. But yeah, also let me know what you think. If you have any thoughts on this new camera. I really like it. I like that I didn't have to stop filming every 5 minutes. So that's fun. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon with another video soon. Bye!